Yeah, it was tough.
Aria Schreiber, hello.
Oh, Aria, nice to see you.
Oh, Dan Roth.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, it's quite a reunion.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone.
Oh, we've got the doctor here.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, Auntie Ruthie.
Hello, Auntie Ria.
Hello.
It's been a very challenging time for us all. And I'm grateful to Hashem that everyone in the family is now healthy and that we can mark this dedication together. Aria originally planned to do this on Tzvi's yahrzeit in Nissan with Bubi present, but that became impossible. So we're pleased for this opportunity to do it now. Because of the resurgence of Corona in some of our local schools in Jerusalem, we decided at this last minute to hold the event on Zoom only. This is the running order for this afternoon. I don't think it'll be very long. It should be well less than an hour. And as we're not meeting at the school, here is a picture of the dedication plaque that now is up in the new physics lab of the Horev Yeshiva. I'm speaking in English so that my mum, Bubi, she's the one in the middle over there, and Esti, who's not on that picture, but you'll see her in a minute, and Tully, who's listening in as well from Eastbourne, so that it will simply be easier for them to follow what we're saying. So between these pictures, you've got all of the siblings. The last one has got Esti in the middle. That first one, you see my mum and Tully on the right, and the four children on the right-hand picture. Faye, Zichronah Livracha, was the oldest, and the others all escaped, obviously except for Tzvi, escaped to England from Vienna before the outbreak of World War II. But Tzvi, the youngest child, who was studying in Nitra, Czechoslovakia, met up with his mother, Chaidis Zal, on the Danube River. That's one of the boats that was taking these refugees downstream. Together with a group of over 1,200 Jews, mainly from Germany and Austria, that the Jewish Agency were trying to save from Nazi persecution. Chaidis perished in Belgrade after the Nazis overran Yugoslavia, but Tzvi was one of the 200 or so youth taken earlier by the Mossad La'aliyah Bet overland to Palestine. His approximate route is marked here in green, starting from the top left. And it went from Belgrade or from Yugoslavia down through Greece, Turkey, what is now Lebanon, and through Nakura. Tzvi started life in Palestine in Kfar HaNoar Hadati in the north and moved to Kvutzat Yavne in the south. He then learned in Yeshivat Hebron in Jerusalem and studied physics at the Hebrew University and specialized in radio communications. Tzvi was a volunteer in the Haganah and met his tragic and early death in the ambush of the convoy supplying Harat Sofim at Sheikh Jarrah on the 13th of April, 1948. Tzvi's model was Torah and Derech Eretz. His siblings had studied in the Talmud Torah in Vienna under Rav Yoel Pollack, whose son later became the headmaster in Horev in Katamon, where our four sons all learnt for a time, and now in that same Horev school system, three of our grandchildren are students. So Horev feels like a very natural fit for a memorial to Tzvi. Nani and Aria took the initiative to dedicate this laboratory to Tzvi's memory. and the rest of the Schreiber family, all of us, through its charitable trust, are delighted to partner with them. Yeshakochachem. We're proud to join Nani's family, the Hochsteins, in their generous support of Horev. Arya, over to you.
So Dan is with us. Dan is going to say for us, Kamal Chamim, and we'll hear Kaddish. And then we're going to hear our cousin Miri Weinstock is going to share with us the plaque, especially because it's rather hard to read in this context. And then we'll hear Rav Dol, a talk by Tzvi Schreiber, and a short v'atara from Yonatan, from my son Yonatan, our son. Let me share with you, Dan, if when you're ready.
Good to see everybody. Shtois Mid at Simchas. My mother is joining us on the phone. Mommy, you can hear?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, fine. El Molei Achamim Sheicheim Bamboimim Hamtzei Menucha Nechoina Al Kanfei HaShechina Ma'alois Kedoshim Utoyim Kezoya V'Kiyam Azivim Es Nishmas Tzvi Ben David Pesachya V'Chaya Yehudis Shnei Ragal Kiddush Hashem Bavu Shenos Nutzidako Be'ad Azkos Nishmosoi Gan Eden Teim Nuchasoi Lachein Ba'al Achamim Yastieu V'Seisek Nofov Yoilomim Mitzo Achayim Es Nishmasoi Adonai Nachalosoi Yonuach Misholoi Mal Mishkovoi V'Noimar Amen.
Amen.
Skadel V'Skadesh Me'Rabo.
Amen.
Olmo de Baruch Rusei V'Yamlich Machusei V'Yetzmach Pokanei V'Korev Mishichei
Amen.
V'Chai Choin V'Yom Yechoin V'Chai D'Chol Beis Yisrael V'Agalo V'Zman Korev V'Imru Amen
Hey, Shomer
Shmei Rabba Mevorach L'Olam L'Ol Me'o Mayo Yizborach V'Yishtabach V'Yisrael V'Yisumei Misnasei V'Yisadol V'Yisalei V'Yisalol Shumei D'Kudesho B'Richi
Amen.
Leilo Amikol B'Choso V'Shiroso Tush B'Choso V'Negmoso D'Amirom Bolmo V'Imru Amen
Amen.
V'Hei Shalom Rabba Min Shemayo V'Chaim Toiv V'Maleinu V'Al Kol Yisrael V'Imru Amen
Amen.
V'Yisei Shalom V'Imroimo V'Hu Yaseh Shalom V'Aleinu V'Al Kol Yisrael V'Imru Amen.
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 Thank you, Abba. Miri, מוכנה? רגע, את מושתקת. רגע, הנה.
Okay, before I will read the plaque, I want to say a few words in English. Then we'll a little bit in Hebrew. I would like to thank the Schreiber family for the opportunity to speak here today. Following your referral, David, I re-entered the Weinstock letters that each time excite me again and again. From these moving letters, which are gathered in the book with great love, I learned to know almost personally each one of the writers. I can't name them all. I list some of them. Chayaidis, Faye, and Tzvi, Zichronam Livracha, and Sarah, Esti, and Tuli, Yibadlu L'chaim Arokim. So much warmth and love flows from Mama Chayaidis to her children, and from them back to her. These detailed letters gave strength and support until there was no way to continue. Although I didn't meet Tzvi, I came to know him through his letters, which were written in English, German, and Hebrew, languages that Tzvi acquired in no time. In his letters, he expresses his love to learning, the love to the land of Israel, and above all, his love to his family. Now, I want to read what is written on the plaque in Horev, in the entrance to the physics department, a physics lab. צבי נולד בווינה בשנת תרפ"ו, 1925, לאביו הרב דוד פתחיה ולאמו יהודית ויינשטוק. אביו היה תלמיד חכם גדול והתפרנס מעסקים. והיות צבי בן 12, נסע לעיר ניטרה שבצ'כיה, ללמוד שם בישיבה ולגור אצל הורי אמו. עם כניסת הגרמנים לאוסטריה בשנת תרצ"ח, מטאפורי, 1938, הפכו חייהם של בני המשפחה לסיוט. אחיותיו, פייגי, ויבדלו זיכרונה לברכה, ויבדלו לחיים ארוכים שרה, אסתי ואחיו נפתלי שיחיו, נמלטו לאנגליה במסגרת הקינדר טרנספורט. ואילו צבי, שהיה אז בן 13, הוא היה אז בניטרה, לא נסע עמהם. אביו, רבי דוד, נרצח בשנת תש"ן, 1939. וצבי ואמו התחילו בדרכם לארץ ישראל. הם הצטרפו לקבוצת מעפילים של כ1,000 אנשים, נשים וטף. אך הקבוצה נתקעה בעיר קלדובו שביוגוסלביה. הנוער בקבוצה ובהם צבי קיבלו אשרות כניסה לארץ ישראל. קבוצת הנוער עשתה דרך ארוכה ומפותלת לארץ ישראל, והגיעה בניסן תש"א, 1941. אמו, חיה אידיס, נרצחה בידי הגרמנים ביוגוסלביה עם שאר קבוצת המעפילים, השם ייקום דמם. עם הגיעו של צבי לארץ ישראל בגיל 15.5, השתלב מיד בלימודים ובחברה של כפר הנוער הדתי. חשוב לנו להזכיר גם את דודה גוגי, גיטל ויינשטוק, ודוד פיניו, פנחס מוזל, בעלה, זכרם לברכה, שהיו חשוכי ילדים, ופתחו את ליבם וביתם לצבי שהיה להם כבן. צבי סיים את לימודיו בכפר הנוער ועבר לקבוצת יבנה, כמו שדיוויד אמר, ולאחר מכן לישיבת חברון. בשנת תש"ה, 1944, התחיל צבי לימודי פיזיקה באוניברסיטה העברית, ובמקביל התגייס ליחידת ההאזנה והקשר של ההגנה. בזמן החלטת האו"ם על תוכנית החלוקה בשנת תש"ח, 1947, ופרוץ מלחמת העצמאות, השהה צבי את המשך לימודיו לטובת שירותו בהגנה. לצערנו, בד' ניסן תש"ח, 13 באפריל 48, הצטרף צבי להגנת שיירת הדסה שעלתה לבית החולים בהר הצופים. השיירה הותקפה בידי פורעים ערבים שבמשך יום שלם טבחו בהם באכזריות. למעלה מ78 רופאים, אנשי הדסה ולוחמי ההגנה נהרגו, ובהם צבי. צבי נקבר בקבר האחים שראיתם בבית העלמין בסנהדריה, בסמוך לישיבת חורב. צבי היה דוגמה ומופת לחיים של תורה ומדע, למרות גילו הצעיר, 23. ממכתביו ששרדו ניכרת מסירותו לחיי תורה ומצוות, ציונות ואמונה איתנה, חברותיות ואופטימיות, חריפות אינטלקטואלית וכישרון לשפות. הוא היה עדינו העצני, עדינו שהיה מעדן עצמו להיות מיושב דעת בדברי תורה, וכשיוצא למלחמה, קשה כעץ. גמרא, מועד קטן. בין האחיינים והאחייניות שלו נמנים בוגרים ותלמידים במוסדות חורב בירושלים ההולכים בדרכו. לסיום, אני רוצה לקרוא שיר של יהודה עמיחי, שהיה אחד ממשוררי ירושלים. כשאדם מת, אומרים עליו, נאסף אל אבותיו. כל זמן שהוא חי, אבותיו נאספים בו. כל תא ותא בגופו ובנפשו, הוא נציג של אחד מרבבות אבותיו מתחילת כל הדורות. מצאנו תרגום, אז אני אקריא לכם את התרגום לאנגלית. When a man dies, they say, he was gathered unto his fathers. As long as he is alive, his fathers are gathered within him, each cell of his body and his soul is a delegate of one of thousands of his fathers since the beginning of all generations. כזה היה גם צבי, שחייו נגדעו לפני שיכול היה להגשים את חלומותיו ואת תקוות אבותיו. צבי נפל לא כאלמוני. סליחה. כשאנו אומרים, יהיה זכרו ברוך, במה יהיה ברוך זכרו? בברכה שיהיה נזכר לתמיד על ידי אלה החיים. תהא נשמתו צרורה בצרור החיים.
מירי, תודה רבה על דברים שיוצאים מהלב. אני מתכבד לבקש מהרב יצחק דור, ראש ישיבת חורב, לשאת דברים.
To be here in this Zoom. It's very inspiring for all of us in Yeshivat Horev to be part of this Askara. I'll speak Hebrew, and I hope that all of you will understand or feel that our רגשות תודה. בפרשת השבוע אנחנו קוראים על פרשיית המנורה. יש שם דבר מאוד מעניין. בעלותך את הנרות, אל מול פני המנורה, יאירו 7 הנרות. ראש ישיבת וולוז'ין, הנציב, אומר בצורה מאוד מאוד ברורה, 7 הנרות זה 7 החוכמות. 7 years of knowledge, I think, fields of knowledge. All the subjects, math, physics, 7 החוכמות. וזה צומח מתוך המנורה, זה חלק מהמנורה. זה חלק מהותי מהתורה. זה אומר כבר ראש הישיבה הגדולה וולוז'ין, הנציב. אפשר לעיין בפירושו העמק דבר, זה מדהים. שהאמירה שלו, שכל החוכמות, בעצם חלק סניף שמתפתח מתוך העמוד האמצעי, מתוך הנר האמצעי של המנורה. אל מול פני המנורה יאירו 7 הנרות. משם זה לוקח, ואת זה מאיר. לכן, מבחינתנו, מעבדה לפיזיקה בישיבת חורב, זה בעצם השילוב של המנורה. זה ענף במנורה שצומח מתוך הישיבה, קשור לישיבה, קשור לתורה, ומאיר את האור המיוחד שלו. זה כבוד בשבילנו, ועונג בשבילנו, שהמעבדה לפיזיקה קרויה על שם הקדוש צבי, שנפל בהגנה על מדינת ישראל ועל ירושלים. והחיים שלו באמת, כפי שכתוב בשלט, זה חיים של מודל. It's not only the physics lab, it's the way of life, the model of life של צבי, שאנחנו נשתדל בעזרת השם לחנך שם. אני לא יודע אם אתם מרגישים כמה שאני מתרגש על השילוב הזה של מעבדה לפיזיקה על שמו של אדם גיבור מרשים, ואין שילוב יותר טוב מזה. כל תלמיד שיכנס ללמוד פיזיקה במעבדה, יראה את השלט, יראה את ישיבת חברון מול העיניים שלו, יראה את השפות שצבי יודע, יראה את צבא ההגנה על ישראל, ויראה את האפשרות לגשת גם לקבר של צבי בסנהדריה, ולהניח אבן על הקבר, ואולי להגיד לו, תשמע, אני לומד פיזיקה במעבדה שלך. זאת אומרת שמשהו ממך ממשיך לעוד דורות של תלמידים, ועוד דורות של תלמידים. ואין הנצחה ראויה מזאת. אז כדי שלא יראו אותי דומע ובוכה, אז אני אפסיק כאן, ותודה רבה באמת לכל המשפחה על ההנצחה היפה הזאת, ואנחנו נשמח לראות את כולכם בימים לא של קורונה, באים ורואים את המעבדה היפה, ואת המחשוב, ואת הרשתות, ואת התלמידים, שיוצאים מבית המדרש למעבדה, ומהמעבדה לבית המדרש, והם באמת מקיימים בחיים שלהם את המודל הזה של צבי. תודה רבה.
תודה רבה לרב דור. Thank you very much. Rav Dor there also extended, whoever missed it, an open invitation for when you're next in Yerushalayim and you have a few minutes to spare, come see the lab in Horev. It's right by Sanhedria. It's a good opportunity also to visit the Keva, and I'll be happy to meet anyone there who wants to visit. I'll gladly join as well. I'm pleased now to invite my brother Tzvi, who is named, of course, for our uncle Tzvi, to share with us some insights in physics. I'm not sure what the subject is. We're about to find out.
Okay. Thank you, Arya. So, you see my screen okay?
Yes.
All right, good. So yes, thanks very much for inviting me to talk in this dedication to my namesake, Tzvi Weinstock. As Miri said, we know quite a lot of Tzvi thanks to this treasure that was painstakingly collected by Dad and Bubby and Esty and Philip and Graham and I'm sure other people. So many, many thanks for that. And, you know, we know quite a bit about the lives back then of Tzvi from these long, short letters, long letters. And we only have, though he wrote very little about physics, you know, it was all personal letters. There's only tiny hints, so we know very little about what physics interested him. He made some reference to the fact that it passed some exams and got access to the laboratories of atomic research, etc. So it doesn't tell us very much, but that was one hint in the letters, in a letter from 46 to London. I think, you know, we can also see a shift. There's one other hint, which I'll show you in a second, but we can see a shift at this point. You know, people go into atomic research primarily out of curiosity. So we can assume that Tzvi's interest in physics at that time, perhaps like mine and many other people's, was a curiosity to understand our universe and how it works. Atomic research in particular is the basis for so much of our world, because everything's made of atoms. You know, in chemistry, the molecules are made of atoms, and animals in biology are made of atoms, and our brain are made of atoms. So this is a lot about curiosity to understand the fundamentals of our universe. However, we later see a letter that was written, here's the original letter in Hebrew, translated to English from Pinchas Mosel, which was written to the Army Archive in order to commemorate Tzvi after his death. And here we see a little bit of a different emphasis, which Dad mentioned also in passing before, that he was interested in radio science. And we can surmise that this was not some sort of abstract interest in understanding the universe, but he was at that point working in the Haganah, and presumably I could guess that he was interested in radio science for practical purposes to help communication. Remember, in those days, radio was very important. In fact, the Haganah was running Kol Yisrael out of this building in Ben Yehuda in Tel Aviv. And this is what it looked like back then. This was Kol Yisrael when it was still an underground radio station. So one would assume that he may have had an interest in that, given that his life was dedicated to the Haganah at that point. So let's talk a little bit about, I was asked to talk for 5 minutes about physics, or a few minutes. Let's talk a little bit about the history of radio. One of the forefathers of radio was this very interesting British physicist, Michael Faraday. He started life as an apprentice to a bookbinder. He spent his time helping to glue books, but grew into a great physicist. And he was the first one to discover the connection, using a contraption similar to this, a connection between electricity and magnetism. Before around then, there was magnets, you know, and there was electricity, and people didn't necessarily know that they were connected. And this is a very good example of the abstract of physics. You see two different phenomena and try to find that they're actually connected and part of a bigger phenomenon. That then led to another British physicist, a Scottish, later an English physicist, James Maxwell, who found an opposite connection. He found that not just the change in magnetism creates electricity, but a change in electricity creates magnetism. And that led to one of the greatest insights in the entire history of physics, that you can get electromagnetic waves. You can get this cycle of a changing electric field, changing a magnetic field, and a changing magnetic field, changing an electric field. And this incredible insight suddenly helps the world to understand what is light and what is radio. And light and radio are really the same thing, two types of electromagnetic waves. So this was a great example of the power of physics, where an insight, a very theoretical insight, sheds light. Suddenly magnets and electricity and radio and light and X-rays, they're all the same thing, really. And that's all thanks to the equations of James Maxwell. But he didn't do anything practical. He didn't work on radio transmission. This was the theoretical foundation, him and others, but I'm just giving you the highlights for a few minutes. It was a German physicist named Heinrich Hertz who first actually managed to do this, and he was able to transmit some radio waves using an electric circuit across this tiny little gap here on his desk. I think it's a few millimeters. So this was the first practical demonstration, but still a very theoretical one, you know, tabletop. The person who really figured out some of the engineering of how to scale this up was an Italian physicist / engineer named Marconi. And perhaps fortunately, he didn't get a lot of support for this in Italy, and ended up moving also to England, which may have helped the British to have an advantage over the Italians later when the war came around. And he did some amazing work. He started by managing to transmit radio waves all the way from one side of his desk to the other in Morse code. You can see the Morse tapper, and he was able to transmit the radio waves from one side of his desk to the other. But he didn't stop there. He was later able to transmit radio waves over some miles, and this is the British Army was able to use that. And he developed a law which sort of explained how the length of the antenna impacts the ability. And with these insights, he was able to scale up radio communication across the Atlantic. So here he is in New Jersey, together with Albert Einstein and other dignitaries, receiving the first transatlantic radio signal. That just not that long before that spent a huge fortune putting telegraph cables right across the Atlantic, and he figured out that you don't need cables, you can transmit radio waves across the Atlantic. So that was Marconi. And then, of course, in the time of that Zvi was working in the 40s, this was the Second World War, and radio waves took on a whole new meaning, not just for transmission, but for radar detection. And this was really the switch of, the move to big science. Up to then, science was done, you saw on tabletops or in small laboratories. like the small laboratory in Horev. But in the Second World War, science became a big business, and this was the British radar system, which was crossed hundreds of miles. And of course, there was another massive physics project at that time, the Manhattan Project. And here, the Allies did have a certain advantage. Ironically, as many of you may know, the Germans had obviously expelled some very talented Jewish scientists, some of which ended up in the Manhattan Project. And this ironically worked out very badly for the Nazis, luckily, and gave the Allies an edge. And so two of the biggest science projects, which had ever happened. Marconi also understood the practical aspects and the military aspects, and he went on to found a company which made radio equipment for civilian and a lot of military applications. Funnily enough, another connection to the Schreiber history here, because Dad knows what I'm about to say, but Marconi ended up as a subsidiary of GEC, as did the Schreiber furniture. And you can see here, if you look at GEC in 79, for example, you can see how they talk about the Marconi employees right alongside the GEC Schreiber employees. So Schreiber and Marconi were sister companies for many years. Okay, so finally coming back to our family history in Horev. This was, I think, one of the first physics labs in Horev. Some kit that my dad and I put together and gave a demonstration to Kita Dalet or Hey of the Horev, of the Yesodi. So this was an early physics lab from Horev. So let me just take the opportunity to say, very excited to see this physics lab. Big יישר כוח to Aria and all the donors. I think that studying physics, for me, it's been one of the pleasures of my life, and I hope that other students in Horev will share that pleasure, and maybe one of them will be the next Einstein. So, יישר כוח and good luck.
Zvi, thank you very much. We said a few minutes. I could have heard that forever, I think. And whoever wants more details is welcome to read Phys.
Oh, that's fine. I'll carry on, Aria, if you like. I've got more.
Yeah, gladly. That doesn't threaten me. I'm happy for that. But we said we'll be done by 5, so we will, and then we can carry on. I'm pleased now to introduce, though for most of you doesn't need introduction, our son Jonathan, who's a student at Horev, and he's going to share with us some Divrei Torah, and he's the last speaker.
ברשות ראש הישיבה, הרב דור, Bobby, my grandparents and parents. We have heard about my great-great-uncle, Tzvi Weinstock, an amazing man, and I'm honored to share with you a Dvar Torah from Rav David Weinstock, Tzvi's father. I've chosen something which we can think of often from benching, Birkat HaMazon. In the last bracha of Birkat HaMazon, we ask, Hu yigmelenu la'ad, lechen ulchesed, v'rachamim v'chaim v'shalom v'chol tov, u'mikol tuv le'olam ali chaserenu. He will forever bestow upon us grace, kindness, etc., life, peace, and all goodness, and may he never cause us to lack any good. The language here is very problematic. We ask, Hu yigmelenu shalom v'chol tov. He will forever bestow upon us all goodness. The very next words are, Umikol tuv le'olam ali chaserenu. May he never cause us to lack any good. Well, obviously, if we ask for all goodness, then how can we be lacking any good? We ask for a blessing of all goodness, and then additionally ask that we do not lack any good? That, of course, requires explanation. Rav David, our great-great-grandfather, gave a beautiful explanation, and I think of it whenever I say Birkat HaMazon. To illustrate his explanation, he quotes the Gemara in Ta'anit, which tells the following story. Rabbi Hanina ben Dosa, who was a famous tzaddik, was very poor, and his wife said to him, "How long do we have to suffer in poverty?" So Rabbi Hanina asked her, "What would you like me to do about it?" And she answered, "Pray for mercy and that something valuable will be given to you from heaven." So Rabbi Hanina prayed for mercy. Then a hand emerged and gave him one leg of a golden table. He received a huge piece of gold, and just like that, they were no longer poor. And most importantly, Rabbi Hanina's wife was happy. But that night, his wife saw in a dream that in Olam Haba, the tzaddikim are eating at a golden table that has 3 legs, but she will be eating on a table that has 2 legs. In other words, she received one of the legs of her golden table in this world to save her from poverty. But in Olam Haba, her table will be missing a leg. When she woke up, she told her husband about her dream. Of course, she was unhappy that she'll be missing a table leg in Olam Haba. She asked Rabbi Hanina to pray for mercy, that the leg of the golden table should be taken back. He prayed for mercy, and it was taken from him. Rav David explains, Rav Hanina wanted prosperity and success, but not at the expense of Olam Haba. Rav David explains, based on the Shla, that there is a difference between the two words tov and tuv. Tov means good, the opposite of bad. We ask for v'chol tov, meaning all good things. Nothing bad should happen to us. In the next few words, we ask umikol tuv leolam ali chasarenu. This refers to goodness, to pure goodness, not the absence of bad, but something positively good, and in particular, olam haba. Like Rabbi Hanina and his wife, we ask that the blessings of this world, life, peace, good things, v'rachamim, v'chayim, shalom, v'chol tov, should not come at the expense of the benefits of olam haba. These are actually the final words of Birkat HaMazon. We add additional pieces, but the main part ends with these words. After eating, which is of course such a worldly activity, we thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu and ask for umikol tuv leolam ali chasarenu, recognizing that our worldly activities are very much a part of our relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you very much. We've finished our main agenda, and Abba has asked me to wrap up. So thanks to all of you for participating in this modest memorial to our Uncle Tzvi. I know these are very strange circumstances, but I'm glad that we were able to have such a meaningful event and wonderful and very big participation from so many people in so many locations. I was going to say that he could never have imagined that his nieces and nephews would participate in building a physics lab in a yeshiva in Jerusalem. But on reflection, I think that is exactly what he would have imagined. And not just imagined, I think it's what he would have actively worked for. Tragically, he couldn't do it, but we're honored to be able to do that in his memory. May his neshama have an aliyah. With that, we've finished this event, and whoever would like to stay on the Zoom and chat is welcome to. Thank you all. Stay healthy, and kol tuv.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for arranging it.
תודה רבה, תודה רבה.
Thank you, David.
Bye.
Shame.
Thank you, everybody. God bless.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, David. Thank you, Ari.
Lovely to see everybody. Lovely to see everybody.
It was beautiful.
Thank you for seeing.
Hello. Thank you.